Hello everyone, my name is Rahul and today's session is about the Cisco tool that is for used for the monitoring and that is called as a RTMT, real-time monitoring tool. Uh, so uh, Before that, let me brief about myself and about this session. So my name is Rahul Maurya and I'm having around 17 years of experience in voice domain, specifically for Cisco voice. And about these sessions, this session is prepared for those who are working in in an environment where they are using Cisco Call Manager in their infrastructure. And this session will cover about the monitoring tool that is real-time monitoring tool. And I will share my experience, like how I am using this tool and in my previous experience, how I use this tool to identify the issue, resolve it, and providing the logs to the customer as well as uh, Cisco tag in case if something is not really working and I'm not able to resolve that, right? So let's begin on the session. So under these sessions, I will cover mainly these topics. Uh, like if someone is new to the Cisco uh, uh, call manager platform, so I will show you how from where they can download it and how they can log in into call manager real-time monitoring tool and what features or what parameters they can see or review in the call manager via RTMT, right? So from where you can download it from the call manager. Just log into your publisher node, go to the application which is highlighted over here, right? And once you click on the down in the arrow key, uh, you will come to this plugins, right? Just click on find and it will reflect all the download version of real-time monitoring tool. And if you as I'm using Windows machine, so I downloaded it uh, the Windows version. If you are having Linux, you can download for the Linux version, right? And then you have once you get installed in your machine, then this is the login page or login prompt where you have to mention your host name, that is the IP address of your publisher, right? And then once you click on the OK, uh, first time if you are using installing, it might ask for the certificates, but that's fine. You can just accept that, right? And after that, on the once you log in to the Cisco real-time monitoring tool, this is the first status page which you will see, right? And I will explain all of the things what exactly it means. Uh, so here you will see all of the things which you can monitor or which you can see from this real-time monitoring tool. If you click by default, it is selected the system summary. Here you will see the virtual memory uses, CPU uses, and common partition uses. So, and the in the graph, uh, you will see all the lines bar which says that how much memory is used. For example, if I'm seeing this blue line, that is my subscriber 2, and it is using 50% of my RAM, right? And same way, the cup server highlighted as a red, you can see it's used around 40% of my memory, right? So in the real time, some organizations are just uh, having some L1 engineers, those team members are monitoring this application, these uses in the morning that they there is a checklist to verify how much memory or CPU is used via system, right? If they are seeing any spike, they just raise the alert that yes, they are seeing the memory spike for publisher node or subscriber nodes, right? And in the second tab, you can see that CPU, and almost all the nodes are having less than or around 30% CPU uses, right? So that is fine as of now, not alerting. And the next is the common partition space. So just 1 minute. So sorry for that. Uh, so common partition, it's uh, actually used for all the logs files which are there in the system, and the trace files or the temporary files during the upgrade. So those type of uh, services, or I can say the logs, are collected in the common partition. And here you can see that it's under it's normal, right? So these are the other things which you can see from the system summary, right? Along with that, if you see any spike or anything, you can raise the alert. Uh, or there is a way you can create the alerting system in from the real-time monitoring tool, that whenever there is spike or around 80% or 90%, you will get the email notification. But for that, you have to integrate your real-time monitoring tool with the SMTP servers. And the next slide is around the process, about the process. So whatever processes is running in the call manager nodes, you can see from here, right? And from here, process at host, you just click on the drop down and select which nodes you want to check. For example, you can select publisher node, subscriber node, TFTP node, or cup server, right? So from here you can see how much CPU utilized via any processes, right? In my experience, so sometime I observed that some of the call manager nodes are I'm not able to log into their web page. I mean, whenever I was browsing the web of any of nodes, it is not it is giving me an error, or it's very slow, or it's taking around 1 minute. So that means there is some issue in the server, right? So via that, if I observe this, I log into the RTMT, and then I can see which process is consuming more space, or more percentage of our resources, right? So here, in that case, I observed that Tomcat services that was using higher, it's more spaces or more CPU utilized as compared to normal, right? So that time I have to restart my Tomcat services, and and from where we can restart the Tomcat service is you need to identify the server, right? Which server, whether it's publisher server or subscriber server. Go to that particular node via CLI, and then restart the specific services which you are seeing you are using high utilized, right? So that is the way you can troubleshoot or fix your problem. And from here you can see which process, how much CPU is utilized, or other memory is utilized, right? And this is the similar slide where you can see the CPU and memory, right? And apart from that, you can see the more information about any particular node, right? So here you can see that subscriber 2 is selected, and subscriber 2 around 8 GB of memory is assigned. And here you can see that 4 GB, around 4.9 GB space is used, and this is free. This much is free, and Here you can see the shared memory, cache, total swap, use swap. So these are the various version of the memory space, right? So from here you can see how much free space is available, right? And if you observe that the spike is very much, right? So you can identify how much you have your system is using and how much space is available in the memory. And the next is the disk uses, right? So from here you can see the same thing, that you need to select your node, like I have selected the publish node, and here you can see how much percentage is used in the as a common partition, boot partition, swap partition, and active, inactive, and shared memory, right? So common partition, as I said earlier, that it is used for your logs files, traces files, right? So whenever you run any traces, I will show you how you can run the traces and how you can collect the logs. That time this common partition is used, and that memory is used, that log files use that partition thing, right? Then next is the boot. Boot is the file is the space where all of your IOS is placed. The bootable files are placed, right? And then in the swap partition, it's a partition where you will find uh, the spaces that is used for your virtual memory, in case if there is you have assigned some space to your hard disk and it's requiring more space, then it will use the swap partitions to extend the memory, or or you can say it is used as a virtual memory when the physical RAM is full. And then active partition is a place where your current version I can say current version files are available. So it contains the currently running call manager software and the configuration, right? For example, if you are running a 12 version in your system, right? CUCM-10. So this is a place where that current uh, the CUCM software is placed and configuration files are placed, right? And if you want to upgrade your call manager from 12 to other version like 14, then you have to first place all the files of CUCM version 14 in inactive partition, right? That is the next point. So then you have to upgrade your inactive partition first, right? So all the files which is there, the current or the CUCM version 14, that is placed on inactive partition. And once you swap your partitions, your active will be inactive and inactive will be, the version will be swapped from active to inactive, inactive to active, right? So these are the partitions, or I can say spaces where files are placed. Uh, Next is about the services, critical services. Here you will see all the services which are running in the call manager. Like as you can see, I have selected the publisher over here, right? And in that my Cisco DB replicator is running. Its status is good, right? And same way you can observe all the services like Tomcat is there, syslog agents is running, risk collector is there, DRF local and the master is there, that is used for your disaster recovery, right? So from here you can find the services and their status. For example, if something you observed, you are trying to take the backup of your call manager, right, and it's not working, so you can check from here that the DRF local and master is working well or not, right? And if Tomcat is stop, I mean, if you are browsing your call manager nodes and it's not opening at all, in that case, you can also view from here that whether what is the status of the Tomcat service. It should be in general, it should be in green and should be working. Okay, so those are the basic of the things which you can review or see via RTMT tool, right? And now the next is the logs, about how you can collect the logs from the call manager, right? For example, if there is any issue, right, and you need to find what happened during that time or specific time, right? Those type of logs you can collect from the call real-time monitoring tool. And in my first slides, I will show you how you can collect the real-time data. For example, if you are making one test call and seeing and want to check uh, what is happening on that particular call, whether I am dropping the calls or there is an issue the far end, like might be PSTN. So that is what you can run from here. And this is a real-time data. You can collect also the past historical data, but let me start with the real time. So you need to go to the logs and traces center, click on real time trace, and under that there's options view real time data, right? But before that, what you have to do, you have to find your phone on which CUCM cluster it's registered, and which node is it is registered. For example, it might registered with subscriber 1, 2 or 3. You have to capture that information first, because in the next slide you have to actually mention the nodes, right? For example, if it's selected your phone is registered on subscriber 1, just select that node, right? It will capture all the information of that particular node, right? And then you have to select the category, which type of logs you want, whether it's a call logs or SDL SDS traces. So that type of uh, things you have to select. For example, if you are uh, if you need only the call logs, you need to select UCM trace and the call manager service and the call logs. If there is any issue with your database, that in that case you have to select that these tabs accordingly, right? So once you select this, you will see this report, right? And here you will see what happens to your call, right? Whether I will explain this information in my next or upcoming videos, but as of now, this is the raw data which you can pull out from your from the real-time data, right? And sometime as it will these logs are real-time data, right? Uh, these are the real-time data, right? And the second one is the historical logs. And for historical logs, actually you need to collect some files from the call manager, right? So that's what you have to select on collect files, right? The, these are the type of services or type of parameters which you whatever you need uh, the logs. For example, if there is an issue with the call manager, you need to select all servers, or if you have the information of any subscriber which you want to pull out the report, you can select that, right? CTI manager services are still there. If you are using extension mobility feature, you can, and you are looking for those logs, you can collect that, right? And if there's a media stream issue or some codec issue or whatever related to the voice codecs, you can select that from Cisco IP or VoIP media streaming application, right? So these are the services or parameters on which you can pull out the reports from the call manager. If you selected clicked over here, it will select all the nodes, whether publisher, subscriber, TFTP servers, right? And if you have proper information of your node, like issue was happening only with the subscriber node, then you can select that node, particular node only, right? If after that you have to click on next, and these are the more services, right, which available, right, like risk services, SSO service, right? If there's a database service, you can click over here. Tomcat service logs, you can click over here, right? And the same way, you have to identify, you need to click check on the all servers or any specific servers, right? Now the next is, once you perform all this task, now you have to select on which time zone, right? And the date and time. Here you can identify or specify the time, specific time, right? For example, it's if you are looking specific time from 9:59 to 10:59, you just select start date, to date, and the from date, right? And if you need any specific time range, like last 5 minutes or last 10 minutes, last 30 minutes, you can select click on the relative range, and from the drop down you can select last 10 days, 15 days, or not 10 days, but 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or 15 minutes, or 1 hour, right? But if it's old data for like yesterday, so you can fetch those information uh, from here, and you have to select the time range from here, sorry. And you have to select the file where you need to place it, right? And sometime you need to share those logs to the Cisco tag in case something is not something is really critical and you are not able to find that things from the logs. Then you have to share those logs to Cisco tags, and for that you can zip those files, right? So that it is easy to send via email, right? And you can compress it, or you can select these options also, right? So these are the things which you can do from the real-time monitoring tool. So this is a start of few of the uh, features, right? In my next session, I will explain more on the other things, like uh, how you can review the real-time data of the phone, right? Along with that, how you can check the system health, uh, like DB replication status, uh, and how you can analyze the logs, right? And how you can check the status of your SCUP servers, Jabber logins, and how you can fetch out the reports from the RTMT. Like if you need to fetch out the how many phones are registered as a current moment, right? And you need to check that, so that report you can fetch out. Along with that, you can see uh, the database, right? And the TFTP server status. So I will create one other session for that, and will share with you all. And in case if you need these slides, please share your email ID in the comments. I will share these information or these slides with you. And thanks for the watching. Thank you. Have a nice day.